What is up, Z Fighters? It's Manga Adventures, and part 1 of What If Gohan Kept His Tail was so popular for my small little channel, I immediately started writing part 2. Thanks everyone for the feedbacks and support, but I know you guys aren't here for the intros. Let's just hurry up and get started. 4 years have passed since the Battle of Buu. Gohan still trains because he wants to master the form of Super Saiyan 4 and protect the Earth just in case of a new threat, because he isn't complacent like in canon, but he knows when it's time to relax at the same time. During his free time, he's studying hard to become a scholar once more. It's hard because he didn't have the advantage of studying his whole life, but with the help of his new wife Adele, he's getting close to that once lost dream. On the flip side, Vegeta has significantly changed. He meant what he said at the end of the Buu arc, that he was gonna make an effort to get to know the people who've accepted him during his darkest times. He trains for the first time in this continuity with Trunks, because previously he saw the boy as dead weight and preferred to train alone if he wasn't sparring with Gohan. This was the best and only way to bond with the boy for the Saiyan warrior. Though I feel like he would have to be much more patient in this canon because he's working from scratch. As for Bulma, she's happy if he goes shopping with her or takes her places. This creates a bond similar to in canon. You can prove you care for someone without blowing yourself up. It takes time and constant effort. Life goes on, but remember, peace can't last forever. On his home planet, Beerus has a dream of the Super Saiyan God. He heads to the Oracle Fish to confirm that today he will face the Super Saiyan God, but also another opponent that can prove to be worthy. Beerus is getting excited. Not one, but 2 opponents. He orders Whis to find where the Saiyans are located, since planet Vegeta was destroyed, and Whis says that most of them are located on Earth. No Goku, so no need to go to King Kai's planet. And let's switch back to everyone getting ready for Bulma's birthday party. This get-together is awkward to say the least. You see, it's great Vegeta is there of his own free will to support Bulma, but Gohan still hasn't forgiven him for the stunt he pulled in the Buu arc, almost killing so many people in the stadium for no reason other than the fight. He doesn't care that the other Z fighters said, oh, they could have been wished back with the Dragon Balls. His disregard for human life is the problem, and it's sickening to the man who cherishes it so much. Though Videl tells him to be nice, that this is for Bulma, not Vegeta, and he has to hold his tongue. During the festivities is when Beerus arrives. Vegeta remembers who he is, per usual, and tries his best to keep the God of Destruction entertained, telling him he's just an old friend from the Frieza days. This surprises everyone who hasn't seen Vegeta ever act this goofy, is the word. This doesn't last long though, because Beerus is here for a fight after all, and he properly introduces himself as the God of Destruction. And if they don't hand over their greatest fighter, this world will be destroyed as well. Of course, this triggers Gohan, who transforms into Super Saiyan 4. He charges forward at the deity, who dodges all his attacks with ease. Beerus gets bored and flicks Gohan on the head into the ground. Beerus yawns, asking if this really was the best Earth had to offer or was it a joke, because he doesn't like jokes. Everyone is shocked, but before anyone else can step up, Gohan stands up saying he's not done yet. He attacks again, and this time Beerus decides to block the hits instead of dodging them, saying, I can see how you Saiyans were able to beat Frieza, but this won't nearly be enough. Before he counters with another forehead flip. Gohan was sent flying, but this time he's able to catch himself mid-air. He starts to charge up, but Beerus appears behind him, attempting a neck chop, but as he looks into Gohan's eyes, he sees they resemble that of a great ape. The young half Saiyan is able to dodge and even counter, but Beerus still blocks, though this time, ever so slightly, his hand shakes upon impact. This causes Beerus to smile, saying, you might be worth 5% of my power. Gohan didn't answer, snarling and continuing his assault. Every time he was knocked down, he would get back up again and again, getting angrier and angrier, more ape-like each time. To the underpowered Z fighters, this fight seemed like it was getting nowhere, but Whis knew that Beerus was drawing out more and more of his power as the fight continued. The half Saiyan was somehow getting stronger and faster as the fight went on. Beerus was getting excited, more than he has in a long time. So much, he fires an enormous ball of energy heading straight towards Gohan, who in retaliation holds up both his hands and screams, times 10 Maseko. The usual yellow energy is now red, and it not only clashes with Beerus' spear, but pushes it back, landing Gohan's first hit on Beerus. You're him. You're the other fighter I was destined to face today. Beerus smiles as he clutches his fist, ready for an all-out brawl. Now come at me with all you got. Gohan charges up his energy, seemingly shaking not only the planet, but the entire galaxy. With the image of the golden great ape behind him, he attacks Beerus once more, but then suddenly, he reverts back to his base, before the attack could land, greatly disappointing the god of destruction. He drags an exhausted Gohan back to the others. It seems Super Saiyan 4 took way more out of him than expected. Beerus says, that was a good warm-up, albeit anticlimactic. Now bring out the Super Saiyan God. Vegeta tells him there's no such transformation, and Beerus glares at him, telling him not to lie. Bulma has had enough. This is her birthday party, and he's ruining it. She runs up and smacks him on the face for being rude. Beerus then calls her annoying and smacks her back. Locking cannon, Vegeta shows off his rage and attacks Beerus, but to no avail. That's when they decide to call upon Shenron to ask about the Super Saiyan God. He tells them they need 6 pure-hearted Saiyans. It's obvious they don't have enough, but Gohan remembers there's one more wish left, and Tarble still exists. So he gambles that there may be other Saiyans out there as well, so he wishes for all pure-hearted Saiyans to come to Earth. The dragon grants his wish, and Tarble comes just like predicted, but also his gamble paid off. Another Saiyan came, Broly. Let's stop real quick to explain so I won't get too many complaints. 1. Tarble is canon. He was mentioned in the Broly movie by Vegeta and even in Battle of Gods when they needed an extra Saiyan but not by name. As for why Broly is there and not Paragus, well, Paragus was shown to be very manipulative, while Broly was always seen to be pure-hearted while not in battle, so he wouldn't be brought to Earth by the wish. Back to the story, Tarble is pretty easy to convince to do the ritual by his brother, but Broly is confused. Luckily, Gohan was able to calm him down, and he agreed as long as he gets to go back home to his father. You know the song and dance. Videl then reveals she is pregnant for the 6th Saiyan. The twist is when they try to do the ritual with Gohan as the lead, something goes wrong. It actually greatly hurts the young man, and nobody knows why. Is it because he's a half Saiyan? Is it because of his tail? Or maybe his new form? But he cannot obtain God Ki. Now the question is, who should be the Super Saiyan God? Trunks is still a child, Pan isn't even born yet, Broly is a stranger. The only options are Tarble and Vegeta. Ultimately, the decision lands on Gohan. Vegeta steps up, begging to let him become the Super Saiyan God so he can make Beerus pay for what he did to Bulma. Gohan refuses, not trusting him. What if he goes crazy with power and turns on everyone? But Videl grabs Gohan by the hand and says everyone deserves a second chance to prove themselves. Gohan thinks about the damage he causes the Great Ape and how hard he tried to make up for that damage. He glares at Vegeta, saying if he tries anything, he'll personally stop him. They do the ritual, and Vegeta becomes a Super Saiyan God, coated in red aura. He battles Beerus similar to Goku in canon, with Vegeta reverting back to his base, and yet still putting up a decent fight against him. Beerus, having enjoyed himself, spares the planet. Now the only problem they have left is Tarble and Broly. Tarble's case is easy. He only needs a way to communicate with his wife and she can pick him up. Bulma gladly starts working on a communication device just in case, which is an easy task for the super units. Broly is more of a problem though. He not only needs a ship, but he has no way to properly describe his planet or even know what it's called. So unfortunately, he has to wait a year for the dragon. They make the most of his time though. Without Broly's father, the Saiyan is very kind by nature. He stays with Chi-Chi, helping around the house and the radish farm. It's nothing romantic, but Chi-Chi enjoys his company all the same. Remember, Goten was never born, Goku is dead, and Gohan has his own life to live, so Chi-Chi has been getting very lonely. Broly also enjoys her company. He's never been treated with such kindness, he's never had such good food, and it's all new to him. Meanwhile, Tarble is staying with Vegeta, spending time with his nephew, and seeing a different side to his brother he never thought he would. The power-hungry prince is now a family man. A year passes, and they're once again ready to use the Dragon Balls to send Broly back home. Bulma's able to finish the communication device, and Tarble's wife gets the message and begins to come to get him, though this will take a few months. They throw a goodbye party, but it's during this time that the Pilaf gang steals the Dragon Balls for Frieza's army and uses them to revive the tyrant and get Amelia Z. everyone feels bad Broly has to stay even longer, but he actually enjoys his time on Earth and isn't really concerned about himself but his father instead, thinking maybe they can live on Earth, to which everyone agrees to change the wish to have Broly's father brought to Earth when the time comes. Little did everyone know, Frieza was using this chance to train, but the Z Fighters weren't just sitting on their hands either. Vegeta was given the opportunity to train with Whis, and he of course didn't pass up on the offer. Gohan would have come, but Pan was born around this time, and he just got his dream job of becoming a scholar after all the hard work he put into it, so he wants to stay on Earth for the time being. A few months pass, Turbo's wife arrives, and it's time for Vegeta's little brother to leave. But this couldn't have happened at a worse time because Frieza's army has arrived, shooting down the ship before it left the atmosphere. The usual gentle Turbo was angry for the first time as he saw his wife battered and bruised on the ground, laying, barely breathing. He stands to face the tyrant, but he's no match. Even the grunts are able to beat him to a pulp, though this doesn't dishearten the Saiyan, who gets up to protect his wife, charging his ki as high as it can go and firing a Gallic gun, but it was deflected with ease like a paper ball. The Frieza army laughs as Turbo passes out from overexertion, but he's caught by Vegeta, who tells him he did a good job and that he'll handle the rest. He was brought to Earth by the Supreme Kai, who saw Frieza was on the way. Soon after comes Gohan. Vegeta tells him to handle the grunts while he handles Frieza personally. Gohan agrees that he doesn't even have to transform into Super Saiyan 4 to instantly take out these cannon fodder. Meanwhile, Frieza laughs at the thought of Vegeta fighting him, the man he's already killed once. He sees this as a game that says Goku won't be here to save you this time, as he transforms into his golden form in an attempt to see fear in Vegeta's eyes. But Vegeta isn't scared in the slightest, as he tells Frieza that he's gone beyond that of which he feared, Super Saiyan. He now has the power of a god as he transforms into Super Saiyan God. Frieza, not being able to sense God Ki, confidently attacks, but Vegeta effortlessly counters him, using him as a punching bag. The tyrant is embarrassed, furious that this monkey, the one he had control over his entire life, dares rise up against him. Vegeta charges up an energy blast, whispering to Frieza, "Don't dare dream of resurrecting again," before killing him. And this time, Frieza didn't fight Goku, so his golden form didn't run out just yet. So he was still fairly confident he could make a comeback in this fight, and doesn't try blowing up the planet as a last-ditch effort, but he misplaced his bets and ended up dead. Now that that's all said and done, Turbo is stuck on Earth with his wife alongside Broly until the Dragon Balls can be used again. But the young prince has a feeling of helplessness after the last battle. He couldn't protect anything and had to be saved. What if his planet gets attacked? What if his wife is in danger again? He can't go running for help or hope someone else is able to save him. He needs to get stronger, so he pleads with Vegeta to take him to train under the Whis. Vegeta accepts, understanding his want for strength to protect others, something he only recently learned. But while all this is going on, the Z Fighters are unaware that Champa is collecting the Super Dragon Balls in Universe 7. So what do you guys think of part 2? The Beerus arc and the Golden Frieza arc were pretty short, so I just put those two together. I want to thank everyone who liked, commented, and subscribed in part 1. I can't believe, like I said, I was in shock when I saw it grew so fast and was so well received. This part wasn't really Gohan heavy because I like to spread out character growth in my what ifs to make every fan happy. Hopefully everyone wasn't too turned off by the fact that I added Turbo and Broly in the story. I had to perform the guard ritual somehow, and I thought the best way was to add them and make the story more unique. Another thing I would like to note, I did not use Super Saiyan Blue because I wouldn't think they would master at this point, even though in canon I know that they do. I'll save that transformation for much later so it has more impact on the story. Anyway, thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. Stay tuned for part 3.